Now it's a great pleasure to introduce one of our great members of Congress, Chief Deputy Whip of the Democratic Caucus, a ranking member of the Subcommittee on Capital Markets and Financial Services, a member of the DNC. But I want to tell you something about Maxine. 3 or 4 years ago, I can't remember. Well, she'll tell you more about herself, but I want to get this in. But I found out, I work with a bunch of foster children, and found out that HUD, when a foster child gets put in with the grandparent in something they call the Kin Gap program, they get money for taking care of the kid, for the kid's expenses, but they were also getting a supplement from HUD for Section 8 housing, and some genius idiot at HUD decided that this money they get for the child, which isn't enough really to support a kid, should count as income, therefore putting the grandparent outside the HUD limits, giving them a very easy choice. Do I give up my Section 8 housing, or do I give up my grandchild? Well, the Democrats were in control of the Congress that year, and I got Max on the phone. And those of us that know her know how politely she talked to the people at HUD. But within less than 2 weeks, they forgot all about that ruling. I give you our great member of Congress, the Honorable Maxine Waters.
Democrats, before I share a few remarks with you, I want you to know that the song that Miss Yee came out on was sung by Whitney Houston. As you know, Whitney Houston was found in her hotel room dead, announced yesterday. I would like us to just have a moment of silence in honor of the memory of one of the world's greatest and most talented vocalists, Whitney Houston. Thank you all very much. To Chairman Burton, thank you for those very kind words. Speaker Perez, statewide elected officials, Democratic legislators, Democratic counties, club leaders, activists, Democrats all. I want you this morning to hold your heads high. I want you to feel proud, to feel good. I want you to be energized. I want you to be all of these things, because as early as it is in these elections, in the presidential elections, we're already on the road to victory. We have the momentum. We're connected to the people. We are truly addressing the issues. I've been reading something called the periodic column on public policy by Eugene Stagerly, and it is entitled, "The Government We Deserve." Now, I've thought about this a lot, and I've particularly been thinking about it as we have watched the Republican presidential candidates in their so-called debates. I am amazed at what they have revealed about themselves. I have been amazed at how they have totally disrespected the office of the presidency and how they have viciously attacked this president. They have ignored and distorted all of the issues confronting this nation and the entire world. I cannot believe their lack of vision or strategies for jobs. This nation, public policymakers, legislators, must be about what? jobs, jobs, jobs. That's what our mantra must be. The American public is waiting, working, and hoping that their legislators and their public policy makers will confront the ills of this society, recognizing the economic hard times that we're in, but thinking outside of the box and creating jobs, because Americans want what? They want jobs. They want to work. These Republicans don't know anything about how to stimulate the economy. They're still talking about the failed trickle-down theory. Keep making the rich richer, and it'll trickle down to the poor and the middle class. They don't know anything about stabilizing our housing market. Have you heard an intelligent discussion on what the subprime meltdown was all about and how we got into the business of foreclosures? No, they're not about the business of ensuring fairness and equality. They're not about fairness in our tax system. They are about continuing to protect the richest in our society and be damned the 99%. They're not about protecting consumers from practices and schemes by major corporations and the financial services industry. They don't believe in global warming. They are still pushing the agenda of the oil companies with drill, baby, drill. They don't care about our environment. And on immigration policy and reform, they are on the wrong side of the track. They would have you believe that if they get in office, they are going to make sure that they get rid of everybody in our society who was not born in America. They're not about civil and human rights. They're not about serious public policy. And it is a disservice to our people and to the people who expect elected officials to do the right thing by our entire public. We and Americans depend on public policy to ensure justice and fairness, equality and opportunity. But the only consistent rant and raving of this Republican Party and the wannabe presidents who we will never allow to be president is to bring down President Obama. That's all they're about. Meanwhile, this president has been working hard to stabilize our economy, to reform Wall Street. Aren't you proud of what he just did when he appointed Richard Cordray for the Financial Services Bureau that is going to be in the lead of reforming our economy? This president is about creating jobs. He has the most comprehensive jobs bill that's ever been presented. Where is the Republican bill? They don't have a bill. They don't know anything about creating jobs. They simply want to get rid of President Obama. President Obama kept his word on ending the war in Iraq and bringing our soldiers home. President Obama has at his priority of his agenda jobs for veterans, helping to create entrepreneurship for veterans. He is truly protecting the middle class and providing a safety net for the poor and the elderly. Democrats, you should be proud of the way that we have pushed back on Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and how we have won on that issue. We dare them to come back on it. Let them come on. We will protect the citizens of this country and make sure that the Social Security system is sound, that Medicare is available and Medicaid is available. This, coupled with health care reform, will put this nation on the right track. Give President Obama a big round of applause. The Republicans are continuing their destructive rhetoric while they collect and spend millions, maybe billions of dollars from secret PACs like the Citizens United. This country cannot afford the policies of those who wish to be president, who have presented themselves to us, the Republicans, in these so-called debates. What is their future What is their vision for our country? They have no vision for this country. They know that of the 4 who are still left debating, none of them are qualified to be president of the United States of America. And so we have a president that is not only promoting the government we deserve, but he's actively working on all of our behalf. What do we have to do? I said just last evening in a meeting, we have got to hit the streets. We've got to work. We've got momentum on our side. But we have got to get out there and knock on doors. Activists, Democratic Party folks, if you haven't walked a precinct, you don't know what politics is all about. If you have not been on a phone bank, you are not serious about your politics. If you have not supported your Democratic legislators so that they can maintain control of all of our houses across this country and in this state, you are not serious about the business of politics. If you don't understand, we've got to take back the House. I saw pictures of Boehner and Cantor on our screens. Don't ever let me see again in life those Republicans in our hall on our screens talking about anything. These are demons. These are legislators who are destroying this country rather than bringing us together, creating jobs, making sure we have a good tax policy, bringing our jobs from back offshore, incentivizing those who keep the jobs here. They are bringing down this country, destroying this country, because again, they'd rather do whatever they can to destroy this president rather than for the good of this country. And so, are you ready to work? If you haven't walked a precinct, are you gonna do it? Have you been on a telephone bank? Are you gonna get on more? Are you going to make Nancy Pelosi the next Speaker of the House of Representatives? Ladies and gentlemen, if we do our work, we can take back not only the House, we can keep the White House, we can strengthen our public policy, and guess what? Let me let you in on a secret. I am the senior most person serving on the Financial Services Committee. Barney Frank is about to retire, and guess who's shaking in their boots? The too big to fail banks and financial institutions and all of Wall Street, because Maxine Waters is going to be the next chair of the Financial Services Committee. Thank you all very much.